Welcome to the Manna at the Tap, a podcast of Tapestry Ministries. It is Monday, January the 13th, 2025. The podcast offers a daily Bible reading from the Revised Common Lectionary. We at the Tapestry community call this reading the Manna we explore together. It acts as the spiritual nourishment our souls desire and the sustenance required to foster our spiritual growth. I'm Gloria, a fellow traveler with you on a spiritual journey, and together we can share insights and interpretations from the daily biblical lectionary reading, which will enrich our spiritual lives. The lectionary reading today is from the Old Testament book of Judges. You may be curious about the title of this book. So here is a brief summary. Moses delivered God's people, the Israelites, from slavery in Egypt. After Moses died, God appointed Joshua as the military leader who conquered and guided the people to their promised homeland. After Joshua died, though, no one was appointed to succeed him. Instead, God raised up temporary warriors to fight and rescue the vulnerable communities of Israel when they were attacked by oppressive neighbors who lived nearby. The repeated pattern among the communities of Israel was as follows. The people, once rescued by God, would soon abandon him and instead worship the gods of their neighbors. It would not be long before foreign enemies invaded and oppressed them again. And when the situation became unbearable, they would cry out to God, who heard their cries. He pitied their plight and chose a warrior or a judge to rescue them. For a while, the people returned to worship God and enjoyed a time of peace. But when the judge died, the communities forgot about following God and returned to their old ways, and the cycle began all over again. Today's lectionary reading is Judges chapter 4. But this is a variation on the typical pattern of the Judges. Here we will meet the four main characters. The first person is Deborah, an Israelite woman who is a prophet and judge. She sits under the palm tree of Deborah on the main highway as an arbitrator of disputes. As the people pass by, she is accessible to listen to their disputes and help them resolve them. Sitting under her palm tree one day, she's asked what to do about an enemy general named Sisera. Her strategy was to send and ask an Israelite military general named Barak to join her for some discussion. In the meeting, she tells him that the Lord God has commanded him to gather 10,000 men from two communities and lead them down to Mount Tabor. And God would help him to defeat the enemy general Sisera. Barak listened to Deborah's words and then added, "I'll only do this if you accompany me." Deborah responded that she would go with him, but she warned him that because of his attitude, he would not receive the honor when Sisera was defeated. Instead, the Lord would sell Sisera into a woman's hand, the fourth person in the story. Deborah then accompanied Barak as he chose the 10,000 men and led them down from Mount Tabor. She reminded him again, today the Lord will help you defeat Sisera, and I hope you know that the Lord has already cleared the way for you. The battle ensues as Barak and his men attack Sisera. During the battle, the Lord confused Sisera, his army, and his chariots, so they did not know what to do. This helped Barak and his men chase after them until none were left alive. But Sisera left his chariot and ran away on foot. The story continues in tomorrow's lectionary reading in Judges chapter 5. Please join us for tomorrow's podcast for the rest of the story.